Forgot how to do this. All right, so today we're gonna be making some eggs Benedict. It's one of my favorite things to eat for breakfast. I absolutely love it. Scenario: you wake up in the morning, significant other sitting next to you, stares at you lovingly in the eyes, says, "I'm hungry. What are you gonna do?" I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna make them eggs Benedict. It's only a couple ingredients, really solid. It's just using the technique properly and getting all of it together, and then you can make like a kick-ass breakfast that's really gonna impress somebody. So let's do it. First things first with making hollandaise sauce. So hollandaise sauce it's only 3 ingredients, right? It's butter, it's egg yolks, and it's lemons, and then you cook them in what's called a bain-marie, okay? So a bain-marie is basically a pot on the bottom with boiling water and glass or a second pot on top that gets heated by the steam. And the reason why you want that is you don't want the eggs to like cook in there, because then it's not like hollandaise sauce. You got like scrambled eggs with some weird fucked up lemon stuff on it. It's disgusting. But if you do it right in a double boiler or a bain-marie, then you end up with a really kick-ass sauce. All right, so let's get started on that. All right, so our double boiler is coming up to temperature. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start dropping in butter, getting our butter melted, and we're gonna use about 3 to 6 tablespoons to kind of start us off. We're gonna get that like melty and kind of doing its thing, and then we're gonna start dropping in egg yolks and then some lemon juice. So we're gonna set these guys aside for now, and we're gonna start separating out the yolks from the whites. It's a very simple process. Crack your egg over a bowl, split it, keep the yolk in the shell, and then you just kind of pass it back and forth, separating as much of the white each time as you can until all you're left with is the yolk. 3 egg yolks and about double the amount of butter in tablespoons, which in metric, for those of you that live across the pond, is 52 kilograms of butter. Whisk. You're gonna wanna just kind of keep this consistently moving. You don't wanna let it stop from like here on out. As soon as you start adding in the egg yolks, you really have to kind of keep this whole thing going.
Are you drinking beer for breakfast?
It's not actually a beer. It's a mimosa without the juice, and then substitute beer for champagne. So it's socially acceptable. No, this is Stone's new IPA Scorpion Bowl. It's super good. I like it a lot. So now we're gonna start dropping in our egg yolks. And as soon as you start dropping in the egg yolks, it's a constant churn on this guy, okay? So we're going egg yolk 1, egg yolk 2, egg yolk 3. So if this gets too hot and you don't use a double boiler and you do it like right on a stovetop, it will curdle, right? The eggs will cook too fast. And if they cook too fast, you'll end up with like chunky, lumpy stuff in there. And it's not gonna be a hollandaise sauce, it's gonna be like scrambled eggs. And you don't want that in your life. So once we get it all incorporated, we're gonna start dropping in lemon juice. It's a simple process. Just hold your hand over it, catch the seeds, let the juice fall in. Yeah. A lot more lemon juice. And as with anything, a pinch of salt.
That's a pinch.
I've got some still. A little bit of cracked pepper. Hey, I need to get a new pepper grinder. If you guys have any recommendations for a new pepper grinder, throw it down in the comments, let me know. Okay, so after a couple minutes of stirring this nonstop, we're starting to thicken up. And we're just gonna go ahead and pull it from the heat and kind of set it off to the side for now. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our Canadian bacon for our eggs Benny, and all we're gonna do is just toss them into a frying pan and let it get nice and crisp. And then we're gonna grab our English muffins, chop them up, throw them in the toaster, and kind of let them get nice and toastified. So these guys are gonna go in. When it kind of starts to look like that, that's when you know you're good. You got a little color to it, nothing crazy. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna poach our eggs. Basically, it just means cooking eggs in boiling water. It's pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. There's a couple of like tips and tricks that are gonna make it work for you, and a couple that are gonna like really fuck you up if you don't do it right. 1, crack your eggs into a bowl first, right? So if you try and crack your egg directly into water, it's gonna and go everywhere. You're gonna have a mess, and it's not gonna be a good poached egg. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be terrible. Don't do that. So crack them into a bowl. Second is to take your water, add a healthy pinch of salt. Let it come to a rolling boil, and then add in a couple of tablespoons of white vinegar. This isn't gonna change the flavor of your eggs drastically, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna allow them to kind of hold themselves together and not like freak out on you. So as this comes to a boil, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir. You want the water to be moving, right? Before you dump your egg in, have the water moving, have it at like a medium to low boil, a good amount of bubbles coming up, not like a high rolling boil. And the reason why you wanna stir is that if those bubbles are going too heavy and they hit the egg, it's gonna fuck your egg up and it's gonna end up everywhere. Spin, 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 and then you're gonna just roll your egg in the water and let it kind of stew and do its thing. We're gonna get our next egg ready to go in. Give it a light spin.
Why do you spin it?
You spin it because if you don't spin it, the egg, as soon as it hits like the boiling water, it'll disintegrate and go everywhere. When you give it a little spin, it'll kind of hold it all together. So you'll see like the yolk, like on the outside, it'll start to firm up a little bit. It's basically when you first pop them in, you can see the yolk like very vividly. As soon as they start to like cook up a little bit, you'll see the yolk will get a little more opaque. Like the white around it will kind of cook a little bit on the outside. You still want like a runny yolk for a poached egg, but it's usually about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes at like a medium rolling boil. And again, they're gonna keep cooking once you pull them out. So it's not like one of those things where you're gonna pull it out and then start chomping into it right away. You're gonna pull them out and let them drain on a paper towel, and they're still gonna keep cooking through. So don't freak out about cooking an egg for 1.5 minutes, it's okay. So they're gonna come out slotted spoon, so you drain off as much of the water as you can. Dry paper towel, let them drain a bit. I'm not gonna do hot yoga with you, man. I will throw up everywhere. I should have breakfast beer. You think I'm gonna go do hot yoga? I'm more of a pick things up and put them down kind of guy. Right, so we're gonna start stacking our eggs Benny. We got our English muffin, Canadian bacon. We're hitting all our different continents. Poached egg numero uno. Right on top. Poached egg numero dos. Okay, and then we're gonna take our hollandaise sauce and come right over the top of these guys. Oh my Lanta. All right, and then we're just gonna take a little bit of chopped parsley and kind of go right on top. Give it a little bit of color. And that is Eggs Benedict. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something about making sauces and French double boily things and poaching stuff. I hope your significant other now looks at you a little more lovingly in the eyes. Because if you made me this in the morning, I would love you forever. Wouldn't I?
I don't know.
I was talking to you, John.
Oh.
I was talking to you.
Screw them.
Yeah,
What
screw
do
them.
they know?
Screw them. Actually, hopefully they do love it and you screw them. I hope it's like a two symbiotic thing. Anyways, guys, I'll check you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I kind of did just make you eggs, Benny.
That's sweet.
Thanks, man.
I'm looking at you longingly.
Woo, shit, girl. Booty bump. Booty bump. Scenario. I don't have a scenario. I don't know why I said that. Hey, guys, how's it going? Boo, 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 boo. I fucking nailed that. Did you see that?
That's what I'm saying. You know, I didn't.
You ready to cut this motherfucker open? I didn't think that through. I have nowhere to put this. That's what she said. It's like, the data! The fucking data! Get it? Nooks and crannies? You see what I did there, Cranny? What kind of communist propaganda are you promoting over there? Because I want somebody to make me eggs Benedict in the morning.
That's an action.
All right. Eggs Benedict.
You know where it comes from?
Eggs Benedict?
Yeah.
Benedict.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch. It comes from Sherlock.